Hello, I'm moderator, joined by Fozzie. For Phoebe Freeport, they've brought 2 Barghest, 2 Caracals, a Drake, a Hound, a Hyena, a Merlin, an Orthros, and a Scimitar.
Yeah, meanwhile, the R0NIN have brought double Fleet Typhoon, Eos, Guardian, double Sveeple, double Kitsune, dodging that Blackbird ban, Ishkur, and Purifier. A lot of missiles on both of these teams. It's really worth noting, though, that the R0NIN battleships are using cruise launchers, while the Phoebe Barghest are using rapid heavies. So much shorter range, but more burst damage from Phoebe, while the R0NIN guys are going to be trying to use that range to their advantage. They both came in at almost max range for the entire team, so they're starting out quite far away from each other, and the match is now just beginning.
We can see that R0NIN already is going to be moving in with their Sviples. They've been cutting across the arena trying to get some tackle on something and then maybe do some damage with the cruise missiles.
Yeah, both teams are shifting kind of as a group. They're not charging directly at each other. They're coming in at an angle, trying to see if they can find some weakness, see if they can catch someone out of position. Already, a Kitsune down from the R0NIN. That is a lot of damage that hit him from the probably from the rapid light missile launchers of these Caracals.
Now another Kitsune being painted and taking a lot of damage. That Kitsune needs to bail and keep a range out of the optimal of these missiles.
Yeah, rapid light's really great for killing frigates, and that Kitsune dropping is a real bad news for the R0NIN. They need that disruption to be able to especially jam the Logi, but also reduce some DPS coming into their team. So we'll see what they can actually get some damage on first. It looks like they're going after one of the Barghests first, which is an interesting choice because he's going to have quite a bit of buffer.
I'd like to see them go after maybe a different primary, possibly a Caracal that will have trouble being sustained by a Scimitar. Maybe go after the Scimitar itself now that it's been neuted out by presumably one of your Fleet Typhoons.
Yep. We're seeing the Foons actually chasing down that Scimitar, so that's exactly what they're doing. The Fleet Foons are chasing down the Scimitar. They're getting newts on him. They've got a web on him now. Though actually, it looks like the web is dropped, and they're keeping the missiles on the Barghest, so we'll see whether he's able to hold up.
It's another viable option. You shut off the rep from the Scimitar without any capacitor. He won't be able to have the repairs, and then the Barghest will eventually fall.
Yeah, lots of damage going onto that Sveeple of the R0NIN here. They're trying to clear this tackle off, but really great job by the Logis of both teams so far, managing to keep most of their ships alive. Keeping small ships alive in a tournament format against a lot of burst damage is really challenging when they switch targets like this.
Yeah, speaking of switching reps excellently, we have the Hound already getting pre-locked as he gets damage on top of him, and a Hound is a very difficult target to keep up.
Yeah, one of the hints that you often see for when the ship is about to get primaried is they'll put the painter onto it. So you often see the painter icon appear on your screen right before all the damage applies. So keep an eye on those painter icons. They're going to give you a hint of who each team is primaried.
Speaking of primaries, it looks like the Kitsune is taking a lot of damage. No reps on top of him. Oh,
too late.
Too little, too late, and he'll fall. That's all the jams for the R0NIN completely off the field.
Man, I really expected R0NIN to be able to kind of take this dominantly. They're a really strong team. Phoebe Freeport may continue to surprise here. They're off to a lead. It's too early to call it, but Phoebe definitely has taken a lead at this point and are in a really strong position.
Yeah, they're looking to extend that lead. They're putting good damage onto all the support of R0NIN.
Purifier dropping now, yeah.
Yeah, the Purifier is falling. They've got an Ishkur. Purifier now falls, and they've got an Ishkur taking damage on a Sveeple that's been fully tackled and is taking quite a bit of damage from the rapid heavies.
Ishkur, a bit of an unusual choice. We don't see that as much. For the assault frigates, often Vengeances are more common because they tank a little bit more. I think the Ishkur may have been chosen for the drone bay to be able to add rep drones, but he's taken okay right now. He's currently tackled one of the Barghests, and he is the reason it can't move across the field.
Yeah, good job by the Ishkur getting on top of the Barghest and pinning him down.
Yeah, that Barghest is dropping. He is in low shield now. We'll see whether he's going to be able to survive. However, I don't know which is going to die first, the Barghest or the Fleet Typhoon, as the first Foon for R0NIN already into about 60% armor as well.
Even if they do trade evenly, which I don't think they will, it would be excellent for Phoebe Freeport. That would be so much less damage for the R0NIN, and with their core of the jams being off the field along with the Purifier, it's so much less damage to then be able to apply to the next Barghest.
One of those little things in the match, this Ishkur, of course, being helped to stay alive by all these armor rep drones, but he's doing it while tackling the Barghest, and as any good team, Phoebe Freeport Republic has smart bombs in the Barghest. So you're seeing those smart bomb effects. That's them clearing the rep drones off of this Ishkur that's orbiting them, and the Ishkur unfortunately can't get further away because it needs to stay within web range.
Yeah, each of those rep drones is like a little tiny guardian in drone form that can put remote reps, and without those on top, it makes it that much difficult.
Yeah, and they're pretty much all cleared off of that Ishkur now, and with the rep drones gone, it's in trouble.
What happened to the scimitar? He's been completely alpha almost to the bottom of hull.
He took a ton of damage there, but has pulled himself back. That's actually really amazing. I'm not entirely sure. There you go. He dropped scimitar down.
This is Ronin's chance right now to get back into the match. With the reps completely off for Phoebe Freeport, they need to work at their lower end core and then build their way up.
Yeah, these Fleet Typhoons have cruise missiles, just like what we saw from PL with the Navy Scorpion yesterday. They can kill Caracals really easily. They can kill a Drake really easily with them. They need to get some of these down before they lose the rest of their small ships.
And they have dropped one of their Swiples, reps applying, but just too little, too late, with the armor reps of a Guardian being applied to the end of the cycle, not to the beginning of the cycle, like on a shield setup that Phoebe Freeport's bringing.
So the Guardian for the Ronin is now tackled. He's got a web on him. He's got Nasa Newts and a Painter, so he's going to be the new primary for Phoebe. They're going to try to get the Guardian down to counter the fact they've lost their Scimitar. And meanwhile, the Ronin shooting the Bargus. I mean, I can see wanting to get the DPS off the field, but really it seems like the Caracals would be a better choice for the value for what you're getting.
They've been shooting this Bargus for almost the last 5 minutes, except for a minute when they switched to the Scimitar.
Yeah, well, I mean, now they're going to be able to actually kill it because the Scimitar isn't there to rep it. But in the time that it takes to kill it, they could have killed some other things as well. They could have killed probably 3 cruisers. And their Guardian's going to basically trade for it. This is a really strong showing from Phoebe Freeport Republic.
Yeah, I don't see how Ronin can really pull this back, not with their Guardian about to drop at Phoebe Freeport. Going further than I think anyone would have thought. It's just another upset to a long list of upsets we've had so far. But
Ronin are one of the most storied tournament teams in Alliance tournament history.
Yeah, and I might be getting a bit ahead of myself as the Guardian is somehow managing to pull his armor back all the way up.
Yeah, he does have some... Does he have rep drones on him? I don't see any rep drones on him. This is just a local rep, I think. But he is pulling himself back up, and the Bargus is it. All right, so if you're the Ronin, obviously it's a long shot. What do you do right now, moderator?
I get all my rep drones on the Guardian. I try to stay away, kill the Caracals, and then try to win on points, but it doesn't look like that'll work as the Guardian's been tackled and then untackled, but still neuted. It's weird how Phoebe Freeport can't hold down a Guardian. Fleet Typhoons and an Eagles can't apply a proper screen to that.
So one of the downsides of going Caracals and Hounds is that you're not picking up your own Tech 3 destroyers, which makes such great tackle ships. The Hyena looks like it might be jammed by ECM drones, and the Merlin is kind of kept away from the fight. He's probably off tackling one of the Fleet Foons, which means there isn't really any small ships to catch up. Actually, as I see, the Merlin is now caught up with the Guardian, and he's got a web on him, so that's where that web has come from.
Looks like I definitely spoke too soon. The Barghest is going to completely be out of shields in a moment, and with that, Ronin will be up on points. Even if they kill the Guardian, I don't know with their remaining core if they can kill a Fleet Typhoon. It's going to be a race against time. Yeah,
this is actually really close. We've gotten another nail biter from Phoebe Freeport Republic. This Guardian is going to die, and this Bargus is going to die. I think we can be pretty confident about both those, and there'll be 2 minutes left. And Phoebe Freeport Republic are going to need... This is going to be very close. That Bargus in structure, dropping down now, and it looks like Phoebe is trying to take down a Foon next.
Yeah, if I was Ronin, I would try to kill most likely the Orthrus. It has the least damage for the amount of tank it has.
Yeah, so as long as Ronin doesn't lose one of the Fleet Foons or the Eos, then they're going to take this. They're ahead on points right now, and as I say that, the Fleet Foon is dying. Wow, that Fleet Foon is going down a lot faster than I'd expect. They need to kill some Caracals, drop some of that DPS off the field. The Caracals and the Orthrus are all very squishy ships. Without Logi, they will go down to cruise missiles. But wow, that Foon is dropping fast. I would not have expected that Foon to go down this quickly. So, even without Logi.
Interestingly enough, on points, if they kill a Caracal, they're going to be at 62. Phoebe Freeport will be at 44. But if they kill the Fleet Typhoon, they're going to be up on points by 1. Ronin can't kill the Caracal and be ahead. Phoebe Freeport, if they kill this Fleet Typhoon, will still be up on points.
Ships. They need to kill a Caracal and something else. Look, so they've got a web on the Hyena. That might help. I don't know if this Eos has damage drones. He definitely had rep drones, but they've been cleared off by smart bombs. So if he has some damage drones as a backup, that might help. But yeah, Phoebe is now back up on points. We have a Caracal in shield. The Caracal, I assume, could die.
This Merlin is brilliant, so you can see how he was doing it, and his speed is bursted up. He's running as far away from that Fleet Typhoon as he possibly can. He realizes what's going on, and that he's going to be the points that R0NIN is going to go after. Now that he's bailed and hopefully pulled out of range, he's going to keep Phoebe Freeport from losing this match. The importance of just a Tech 1 frigate is enough to swing an AT match here.
In this case, actually, though, he hasn't run away. He's run to the other Foon to tackle it. So he had moved from the one Foon to the other. He's got the web on the other Foon. The Foon is going to have a hard time killing a Merlin, though. The Foon is trying now. He's got his webs on him, but really the Caracal is the better target. Keep trying the Caracal. 15 seconds, though. Then Phoebe is going to take this. There's no way for R0NIN to come back in only 9 seconds.
Yeah, the Merlin only mattered if the Caracal fell, which he needed to. Again, this is why I was talking about the Orthrus. A Caracal just wasn't going to be enough points. You need to kill something with more points. R0NIN not quite having the presence of mind to go after the win, and unfortunately, Phoebe Freeport's going to win it.
Yep. Unfortunately, they just didn't have a hope at that point. They needed to kill the Caracal. I think the Caracal was a fine choice of the primary, but they just weren't able to do it. Phoebe Freeport Republic, another huge upset, takes down the R0NIN, moves on, knocks out one of the most storied teams in Alliance Tournament history, and we're going to send you back to the analysis desk for some discussion.
Na 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 na.
And the R0NIN have been eliminated by Phoebe Freeport Republic.
Wow.
They're out of the tournament. That incredible nail-biting match.
Wow.
I think the target calling on R0NIN there is really what broke it at the end. If they had gotten those Caracals down a little bit sooner, that damages off the field, that their ships stay alive, they win on points. I think R0NIN could have handled that a little bit better.
I thought, as they were talking about in the box, the idea of focusing the untackled, for a lot of that fight, the untackled Barghest of Dexella, I believe it was Dexella, he was taking so much damage for a long time and he just wasn't being tackled, and he was able to mitigate and just tank for, what, as moderator said, something like 5 minutes, and at no point did R0NIN switch. Not quite sure about that. Really good performance from both sides logistics. There was particularly R0NIN, as PFR was switching targets every 10, 15 seconds.
What happened with PFR's logistics, though? That
scimitar.
rapid drop.
Like,
just basically just tipped it over like a domino.
He went from really almost full shield down to very low structure, and he didn't die straight away after that, but he died pretty soon after. I don't know what happened with that scimitar. It would have been perhaps a little bit more of a convincing victory from PFR had he stayed alive, but
certainly
that was just instant. Just bumped down to low hull. Not sure really what happened.
Would be really interesting to see how exactly that happened. I don't think that either of the commentators had their cameras focused on the Logi at that moment, but we will see kill nails.
He was doing fine. He didn't seem to be tackled. There was no. I mean, they wouldn't have been watching the simi. He seemed to be doing fine, and then just boom, and I jumped up. I was like, what? This happened to that scimitar. Why did he die?
Ryan, observations?
Again, I've seen a lot of people putting eggs in baskets in ECM, and it just doesn't pay out.
It was
to a point. I mean, you got those two kitsunes, they help, but
yeah, the two kitsunes going down really early.
A lot of my previous work has just been EWAR frigates, and it's just like it doesn't work out.
It was interesting to note, though, almost halfway, well into the match, actually, half of these fleets on either side were still alive. R0NIN concentrating on taking out the battleship core of Phoebe Freeport Republic, those Barghests. Phoebe focusing more on the support wing of the R0NIN, and that trade didn't work out.
Sorry, go
ahead.
I just wanted to point out one other thing was that clutch tackle, and you heard Fozzie talk about the amount of damage that Floon of Draciste was taking, and that he was taking fire for quite a while, but something tackled him. I
think it was the Merlin. I
Yeah,
think the Merlin.
tackle Merlin.
It was the
there.
Merlin? Yeah, yeah, it was the
yeah.
Merlin. So you could see the amount of, they were trying to kill him. It was in the last 2.5 minutes of the match. But they really needed that hard tackle from the Merlin, the scram and the web. And the velocity of the Floon was about 800 meters a second or something like that. And he wasn't taking much damage. As soon as that Merlin got tackle on him, he just melted. So really clutch play by PFR getting him tackled at the right time and getting him down.
The Merlin is a Tech 1 ship.
Tech 1
Now,
Caldari frigate.
It's interesting to note that that these ships can have an impact. The Merlin, this is not the first time that a crucial Merlin has made an appearance on an AT team towards the end and just making sure that their team survives or getting in necessary EWAR, necessary tackle. And those ships will be available to Capsuleers coming in from November who are in Alpha State clones.
Yeah,
Absolutely. You can do a lot of work with those T1 cruisers.
Merlin with that.
Frigates. There's been many times in the past where we've seen tackle Punishers and tackle Merlins just pull something out and
both
be the difference
supremely
between-
tanky. Both with the Merlin with a shield resist bonus, the Punisher obviously as well with armor bonus. But yeah, clutch play.
Is a Merlin Punisher something that you like to run into when you're on your little
Merlin's generally
jaunts across New Eden?
I mean, you don't run into them too
No.
often. Generally, no, you get bigger stuff than that. But Merlin's are always nice, being a close range sort of ship. It's going to come in nice and close and allow you to blap its face off. So.
And we'll provide some interesting content for you to watch on channel Zarvox.